Good evening, good afternoon, or good morning, whichever suits you best. I'm back again. I'm gonna do another video here. This one, I'm showcasing something. I took a little nap, and I got a message on Discord from Silent Avenger. He sent me this file here. It was like, here you go, man. I made this for you. He's like, I didn't do Windows or any details on it, but you know, if you want to use it, you're more than welcome to. I'm like, dude, that's awesome. So I'm gonna go ahead and take a look at it here, and I still have my model to work on. If nothing else, I want to compare his model to my model and find out, you know, like my model was pretty close to scaling where I wanted it, because I knew exactly how much I wanted it scaled. But he's got this started, and it's looking pretty good. So I'm going to take a look at it and see if I can't do some of the details in that into it. And if nothing else, I might end up using this as like one of the, since I have 4 different variants of the Nemesis cockpit anyway, I might end up using this as one of the variants and making there be more than just spec differences. Obviously, of course, Silent Avenger is going to get credited for the work that he's done. This is awesome. So shout out to Silent Avenger, dude. That's just the coolest thing. I appreciate you. I appreciate everybody in the modding community. It's seriously one of the greatest communities. I know a lot of people don't get to see the behind the scenes and deal with a lot of us on Discord or whatnot, but seriously, I just have an untold number of fantastic interactions with so many of these guys and ladies. They're all awesome. But so let's go ahead and take a look at this, and yeah. So here's the model that he sent me. I'm gonna go ahead and, you know what, I'm not gonna be able to, because I don't think this is a blend file. Let's open up my, we don't really need to save you because you're already saved. Let's open up mine, and I'm going to go ahead and export mine. That way I can import it again. So let's go ahead and open up his. We don't need to save it. We've already got it saved. Let's go ahead and go back into edit mode. That's weird. Why did it apply smooth textures? I didn't save it. It doesn't matter. We're going to go flat faces. There you go. So let's import my model. Let's move my model here. Oh my god, his scaling is just about right too. Here, it's almost perfect. Holy crap, dude. How did you do that? I'm telling you, I think Silent Avenger might just be a genius. That is incredible. That looks, wow. I kind of like the way he did these vent holes too. Man, that's cool. He said he didn't put any real detail into it, but man, that, he would have much bigger headlights or something over here. I kind of like the way he did these wing structures too. This is cool. Seriously, If you guys have never heard of Silent Avenger, if you ever interact with him, he's just the nicest guy. That's awesome, dude. It looks so good. All right, sorry, I'm always dumbfounded by how good some of these guys are at everything, really. Wow, the profile's just about the same too. He was like, "Yeah, I threw this together, you know, in an hour or two," and oh, that is so cool, man. All right, well, anyways, let's go ahead and get. I'm gonna go ahead and keep mine out here for now. We'll remove it before we're done. Let's go into edit mode. Let's take a look and see if we can't do some work on this Windows. First of all, now I'm gonna go ahead and. Oops. Which one is? That's it right there. Edit. I wonder. Oh, I know why. Because I didn't select all. Ugh. Clearly still waking up from my nap. Uh-oh. That's not what we want. Why did you do that? Oops. Oh, I do know why. This is why. Okay, let's reset this. Oh, I see. I see exactly what it is. All right, let's go ahead and rotate this guy with it being on a 0 point. Looks about right. That's not quite right. Nope, that's definitely angled. So let's rotate that just a little bit. I think that's about centered. Let's try it now. Mesh, symmetricize. Oop, I almost had it right, not quite. There. Still a little too far over. Perfect. All right. Now, I always like to symmetricize. It just makes when I'm doing adjustments easier. Does it have to be done? No, but that's just something I like to do when I'm working on models. But dude, I still can't. I can't get over this. This is seriously incredible. Oh, you know what? I've got it rotated backwards some. Let's rotate it that way. Just keep rotating it that way until that back wall is flat. That looks good. Now we can reposition. Go back to about the same point. There. Yeah. That's so cool. Let's go ahead and get started. All right. So I still want the window to be roughly about the same size, so we're going to go ahead and kind of get an idea of where to start with it. Yeah, maybe one more back. Ooh, you know what? I could make his window for this model a slightly different shape instead of having it be flat back here. Yeah, I like that. That is a cool detail. That's a cool touch. Alright, let's try this. Then let's go ahead and scale that just a little bit. Okay. I know for some of you, maybe you don't see what I see with this, but it's honestly incredibly amazing that he was able to get something so darn close with only an hour or two of work. And not having worked on the original model at all. Yeah, that's kind of cool looking. Figure the more variation that there can be, the better it'll be in the end. You know, if I'm going to use two different models, I think it'd be cool to have like the various Nemesis cockpits have various like actual physical variations rather than it just all be one type of cockpit. That is super cool. Alright, so yeah, let's go ahead and go to object mode and take a look at that, see what that looks like. And make it like a giant windscreen without quite as much framing. You guys will have to let me know what you think about something like that. Having this one just be like a very large window. Yeah, I kind of like that. Dude, his attention to detail is really pretty astounding. And I mean, even in its very, you know, primitive, rough state, it's I mean, mine's primitive and rough too, so wow. Alright. Anyways, enough being flabbergasted by people's abilities. Let's get to work on this guy. We want to add some details to this trim as well, so go back to edit mode. Side projects, you know, they're always fun. I think we'll do, nope, let's do the starboard side. you know what? No, let's just do one at a time. Let's do that. Inset. Alright, let's check that out in the object mode. Oh yeah, that's starting to look good. I mean, starting. Alright, let's see, and you know what? We'll do this one too. This one, I'm going to make that inset a little bit bigger. That way it kind of looks like it follows that line. I do apologize for being somewhat quiet in these videos, guys. I want to like just talk about like what I'm doing and why, but at the same time I want to get stuff done, and honestly it's kind of hard for me to talk and think at the same time. Let's go ahead and take a look at that in object mode and see where we're, oh yeah, okay, look at that. Alright, so now let's go ahead and go back to edit mode. I think we'll do, first of all, let's get the top. The top is more important than the bottom. I mean, that's what people are going to see the most of, at least hopefully. Unless they just like walking around underneath their cockpits, which maybe they do. I mean, to be fair, that very well could be. I think we'll do... Actually, you know what? We'll go ahead and we'll do this part too. Bring it down to about... Okay, that's going to be a little bit of a problem. So, because I can see them crisscrossing there, and that'll cause some normal flips. So instead, what we're going to do is we're going to go M and center. Actually, you know what? Let's back up. We'll get those 2 points close, and then we're going to go ahead and do... Oops. Get those 2 points centered. This will just make it easier for me as I'm working on this. Now we're going to bring that down to about like that. So if you're wondering what I'm doing, is I'm trying to make these like lined, like these deep cut lines here, trying to make it look like they follow that same size and shape pattern all the way forward, so that it just looks like it's meant to go together. Whether or not I'll get it exactly perfect or right, you know, it's hard to say. But you can kind of get an idea here, because now if we go to object mode, you'll see that, yeah, okay, that cut might need to be a little bit deeper. Maybe not. Could just be the lighting there. That's not so bad. This one probably should have been a little bit smaller. Let's see if we can get that far back. We can. Good. Let's redo that. Got to do that little trial and error stuff. Alright. Goes to center. Now go back to doing an inset. Let's move you up just a little bit. Alright, now let's check that out in object mode. Oh yeah. That's cool. Alright. Now, how do I want to do, so like with this one I've got lines that kind of wrap all the way around, and there's still more detail to do in this model over here. There's still, I mean, more work in general to do. Man, I'm trying to decide, do I want to do wing, kind of like a winged thing like that with mine, or keep mine more solid over here? You know what, I'm going to keep mine more solid, just because I kind of like having that dichotomy of looks. That's pretty cool. Yeah. Okay. Yes, enough speculation there on what I'm going to do. We're going to do a different kind of patterns on this one too. Do I want it to be that big, or do I want to kind of go block by block? How do I want to do this? Oh. Actually, let's carry on the theme over here first. Go in just a little bit. Alright. Yeah, I like that. We're going to go in a little bit this way, and in a little bit this way. And we're going to come back out. And back out. Let's check that out in object mode. Yeah. Okay, select all. Oops, that's not what I want. I need to go back to here. Let's go back to edit mode. Now, yeah, perfect. Alright, so now let's go back to object mode to take a look. Yeah. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. Okay. Edit mode. Let's go ahead and do some more lines up in here. And in fact, you know what? Let's have some kind of curved around this guy. I know I switch back and forth a lot between object mode and edit mode. That's just because I can see things better with object or in object mode to kind of get an idea of like, will those cuts suffice? Yeah, I like that. But did I? You know what? I like it, but I think I made it too small here. So let's go ahead and go back to edit. Back up a little bit. Alright, let's go ahead and make that just a little bit farther into this so that it hopefully makes it a little bit more pronounced. Yeah, I bet that's gonna look better. Oh yeah, that looks better. Yeah, very cool. Alright. I'm happy with that. Kind of want to do the same thing with that one. Back there. So let's do we include the wing? Ooh. Yeah, okay. I'm kind of getting an idea of going in quite a bit there. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. Let's go to object mode. Alright. I came up a little bit too high. That's why that doesn't look quite as sharp, probably. Looks like I came up just a little bit too high, so... There. That looks better. Now let's go to object mode. Yeah, that looks better. Alright. The side project of working on a second Nemesis model is not something I expected to do today. Probably should finish the one before I start working on the second one, but I have to take a stab at it because it was a very pleasant surprise to wake up to. Like I said, this community, it's awesome. It really is. Oh. Oops, did it again. There you go. Now we'll do this. Not too far. Oops, did that again. Okay, we are getting there. How I'm gonna deal with making... I don't even know if I really want to change that much. Maybe just make the very back end of these like very black textures so that it just looks like it's like it goes deeper, or do I want to put some detail in there like it's running into like a radiator or something? I mean, technically it's a spaceship. We don't really need air intakes, but I figure, you know, it also has to be able to fly around in atmosphere, so air intakes would still make sense for cooling purposes. I mean, or maybe it's exhaust, really. I mean, who knows? Something else I've thought about, so like somebody had pointed out like a port starboard, you know, like lights on like green and red lights on the port and starboard side, so that you can kind of make it more like a real world ship or a real world plane, stuff like that. Maybe I should also think about adding some like thruster nozzles on the body of it. They could be, and I could apply some like thruster stream, like jet streams to show up whenever you use your thrusters in space. Yeah, man, this is ultimately, I think this is going to lead to a better mod than what I had to begin with. I don't normally like making mistakes, but in this case, I actually think this mistake might be a net positive for the mod. So it's going to take me a little bit of time to get it all in there, but you know, we'll get it done. Yeah, okay. Let's go ahead and keep working on this. Alright, now I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do kind of like my other model where I do things like all the way. Ooh, actually, you know what? I kind of like that triangular cut out there. Yeah, for these lines. Maybe do I wonder if I can't do is that right? Yeah, I kind of like the idea of leaving that square there. Oh, not that one. That one. Oh, I see a subtle M in here. That could be cool. Okay. So this is how I do a lot of this stuff when I want to do a lot at one time. Just if you're wondering what I'm working on, I'm just trying to decide like what kind of weird cool pattern can I come up with for lines on the bottom and kind of get them all done at once. And obviously my sensibilities might be some, different than other people's, but I think it'll be kind of cool. So like there's kind of a subtle M in here if you're looking at it. Which, you know, it's Matilija Aerospace, so. Oh, and there's an even more, oh yeah, that'll look cool. I think that'll be the end of that. Yeah, okay, let's try this. We're gonna see how it works. Might end up looking stupid, in which case I'll undo it. Wait a minute. Oh, okay, that's good. Nope, not scale. Did I accidentally scale those instead of insetting? No, I think I did. Let's go back to here. Let's try that again. No, I guess not. Huh. Wonder why it's doing that. Well, we're gonna try this anyway. And we'll see what it does. It might end up being that I need to do a little bit less at once. But yeah, that actually I think that's cool. That'll work. I like those lines. Obviously, I'll take all of your guys' opinions too. I'm not against criticism. If you don't like them, if you think I did something stupid, tell me. Yeah, that looks good. I like that. All right, now let's go back to the top. Hit it. So I've already done an inset here, but I'm kind of tempted to do some interior insets within insets. Kind of help add to the similar style pattern of what I've done on the bottom. No, we don't want that one. Well, do we? Yeah, you know what? Maybe. Let's try this. I don't want to go too far. There. Alright, now let's go back to object mode. Yeah, I kind of like that. Okay. Yeah. It's a nice, unique look. While still clearly being in the same family, at least as far as it looks to me. They look like they both belong in the same family of cockpits. Man, I like the way he did the top better than the way I did it. Sorry, I'm not meaning to sound like I'm whispering. I'm just kind of thinking aloud is really what I'm doing. I like that. I like those angles better than mine. Mine definitely looks more like a cobra or something. Oh, that's still, man, that is so cool that he got that so close and scaling. And I kind of like the way he did his bottom better than mine, too. I mean, there's still a lot of work to do on mine over here, but that one just, I really like that. And I like those creases in there. That looks very, very cool. Yeah, so the one that Silent made, I think it's going to end up being a little bit more similar to the original one that I had used. As far as the interior and the exterior go, in that I think this is going to all be solid. And then but he'll have one like big windscreen up here that's just wide open with just the framing around the outside. Then mine will have a windscreen a little bit more similar to the one that I originally started with. But with also windows, like a ceiling window in this little framing going back. Just kind of add a little bit more variation and differentiation between them. Yeah. All right. Just trying to see if there's anywhere where I'd like to add any more, or if I'm pretty content with the way that comes out. And do I want to have these? I think I might make these, all of these, be like air intakes, or even like reverse. Oh, you know what? Reverse thrusters. That's what that'll be. Yeah. Yeah, braking thrusters. That's what I meant. Braking thrusters. That's what those will be. That'll be cool. Okay. We'll do braking thrusters on those. And you know what? I might even make those braking thrusters instead of air intakes or whatever I originally was thinking. Yeah. So I've got headlights on this one. This one, I think I might put the headlights here, right on the end of that. Yeah. Yeah. I like that. That'll be cool. And you know what? We'll stick with the triangular headlight idea, I think. All right, let's go back to edit mode. Let's go ahead and get an actual headlight receptacle in these. Oh, you know what? Let's just do it on this side. That way we can... So the headlights will be a little bit farther forward on his. Yeah, I like that. That'll work. Let's go ahead and first we'll get you going part way until those 2 points are close together. We will center you. Oh, and just so you guys know, when I'm doing that, when I highlight like 2 vertices or vertex points like that, and I center it, I'm hitting the letter M. That brings up that little option, like what do I want to do with those points. I don't know if I've actually said that yet or not, but that's how I do that. So anyway, so now that we've gotten rid of that second point there, so now we can go ahead and finish scaling this in. And I don't want them to be big, I just kind of want them to be here, and I kind of want it to be a little bit closer to the middle of that framing. Yeah, right like that. That'll work. And then go back to inset, just like that. And then pull that back just a little bit, and that'll be a spot for a headlight. Let's go to object mode and see how that looks. Yeah. That will work. Alright, select all. Oh, nope. Gotta go back to edit mode first. Now select all. Mesh. Symmetricize. Yeah. Alright. Well, that's going to be it for this video here. Let me know what you guys think of Silent Avenger's model here, and seriously, like, much love to the dude. That's awesome. That is awesome. I'm seriously just... Oh, you know what? That's the other thing. I'm gonna have to make like a door cutout back here for this guy too. Oh, that's the other thing that I do want your guys' I really want all of your opinions on is, do you like the idea of having the door more centered, it being a single level, like a single flat level across inside the cockpit with like gratings? I didn't really get a ton of responses on that in the last video, but I would really appreciate more input from more of you. I kind of like the idea of that, but ultimately it's not just me that I want to be happy with this. I want everybody, and I was happy with my original release, you know, honestly. So but let me know, and if you prefer it more centered, that's what we'll do. Right now I've got this one set up with a in fact, we can go ahead and do this. We'll go to object mode, switch to this one, and if I go to edit mode now, you can see where I've got kind of like my door cut out a lot lower. And I'll still add some more detail on the backs of these too. I haven't gotten to there yet, but that'll probably be maybe my next video. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of that, of where you would like the door placement to be. And we will that'll probably be the next big thing, is getting the door cut out, getting some detail on the backs. Because once the door is cut out, then that makes starting my interior of the models easier. And obviously each of these are going to need their own interiors. This one's going to need one that mirrors like this roof line with the extra glass up here. And And this one over here is going to need one that's solid and has a nice solid interior. Also, let me know what you think about, well, I mean, give me all your opinions. You know, I like them all. There's never, also give me an idea of what you think about like the lines and everything that I've been working on. Do those lines look good to you guys? Do you think that I should do more? I mean, obviously I need to do more work on this one. I haven't done any of the like recessed lines along the bottom yet. But yeah, anyways, let's go back to you. Gotta switch. Now we go to edit. Uh-oh. Why did that happen? Oh, let's go back to object mode. Now let's go there. Now it should only be that one. Yeah, perfect. That's what I want. In fact, let's go ahead and delete mine. I don't need that in here anymore. We're gonna file, save as. We'll keep his original that he sent me here. We're gonna name this one. Oop. The Incredible Silent Avenger. Maybe that's what I'll name that variation of the cockpit. I'll name it Silent Avenger. What do you guys think? Let me know what you think. Anyways, until the next time, I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I hope you guys can be a little bit patient with me as I get all these things set up and properly done so that we can get back to having my mod out there for everybody to use. And yeah, this was kind of a long video here, probably longer than I really expected to make, but yeah, I'm excited. I'm honestly getting like more and more excited the closer I get to having these models out there. And seriously, Silent Avenger, if you are seeing this, thank you so much, dude. That is the coolest thing. You did not have to gift me a model to work with. That's awesome, dude. Much appreciated. All of you out there, stay awesome. Enjoy your time in the settled systems, or at least I hope you are. And until the next time, have a great one.